So the other thing that I was thinking, I forgot to add, is that you never really see if a woman transitions into a male, you never see her trying to compete in the men's sport because she's gonna lose. She knows she's gonna lose, you know. And there's actually a woman, I don't remember her name. She transitioned to male, but she didn't. She still competed on the women's sports because she wanted to. You know what I mean? So everyone really knows in their heart of hearts that the reason that woman that changed into a man, the reason she's still competing on the women's team is because she knows she has no chance in the men's team. So it should go both ways. You know, like if she doesn't want to go because she knows, everyone knows that biologically men and women are different, so she would never stand a chance on the men's team, right? Even if she transitioned with all the testosterone and all that, you know? So why should women's sports be compromised when we're on the losing end of the stick? You know, we're on the shorter end of the stick. You know, why should the women's sports be compromised because some men want to be the star and take over the women? You know, that's really all that it is. You know, that's really all that it is. It's in the name of acceptance and everything else. You know, justice warriors, they're committing injustice to the weaker part of society, of women, right? Right, Raspberry? Yes, Raspberry's a girl, and she understands female issues, right? You understand female issues, yes. Yeah, so Raspberry understands. You know, like, I don't believe that there's more than two sexes. There's intersex, which is someone who's born with both sexes. There's no more than two genders. There's female and there's male. And there's no non-binary, none of that stuff. If you want, in the old days they used to do like something called eunuch, and I'm not sure how you say it. Unique, unice, something like a word like that, where they would take a man and castrate him so that he doesn't have that sex drive. So he's not called a man or a woman. He's just, and they can use him in any way. They can use him to clean in women's rooms. That's what they used to do in the old times. If they needed servants that were not going to be a threat to women, they would take a man and they would castrate him, and he wouldn't be a threat to women. And he wouldn't have that sex drive, so he would just be like, he would be safe to be around people, you know what I mean? I mean, of course, everybody, even if you castrate them, it doesn't mean they'll be a good person, you know? They might want to kill someone, but for the general part, sexually, they won't be a threat, you know? And they won't have that, they won't give off those sick, perverted feelings if they work with women in women's bathrooms or a woman's house or anything like that, right? And what was the other thing I wanted to say about the trans swimmers community? What else do I want to say? If I have anything else to say, I'll add it in another video. Yeah, it's just, the whole thing is just interesting. It's different, it's interesting, it's a phenomenon. Right, little raspberry. You. What else? Like, there's only two sexes. There's intersex, which has both male and female anatomy. There's female, and then there's male. That's all there is. And anyone who says differently is in delusion. They're in a delusional state of mind. They're not thinking in their head. They're not really, they don't see in reality. You know, like, you can call them schizophrenic because of, what is schizophrenic? Someone who sees things that are not real. It's real to them, but it's not in reality of existence of the world physically. You know what I mean? So I feel like this mental issue, it should be considered a mental illness, normalized in that category, and it shouldn't be considered, be pushed on children in schools, you know? Like what they do to kids these days, right, Raspberry? What they do to kids, they take little babies and they convince them that they're boys, or like they're born a girl. And they say, oh, you can be whatever you want. And then the kid says, oh, I want to be a girl. He's a boy. I want to be a girl. And then they say, okay, be a girl. And instead of telling him, oh, you could pretend to be a girl, but you're not a girl. You want to wear a dress? You can wear a dress. And then they put them on puberty blockers and make them grow boobies. And then when they get older, they regret it. Even if they say they don't regret it, they do. You know, a lot of them do. And it's like they castrate the males. If a boy wants to be a girl, they put them into surgery at like, it's like child abuse. Like, how are you supposed to know what you want to be when you're 5 years old or 12 years old, 13 years old? Like, you're not a developed person in your mind. You can't make decisions. Like, you can't drive, you can't get married. You know, age of consent is 18, right? For in most states, you know, to have sex and stuff, right? And then you're gonna let a child consent to something like changing their sex, going through a life-altering surgery like that. That's child abuse, you know? And anyone says otherwise is a sick person, and they should be put in jail. That's what I feel. You know, children should be protected. Children shouldn't be told and brainwashed that they can make decisions that like, how would I know what I am at that age? You know, like, I'm still learning who I am, you know? I think the only time that they should be able to make that change is after 25. Because then you don't have any regrets, you know what I mean? I mean, you might have regrets, but it's not like someone else made the decision for you, because that's what it is. If you want to have a sex change when you're 5 years old or 10 years old or 12 years old, right, and your parents let you do it, it's not your decision. It's their decision, because you're not able to give consent. So when you're 25, you're an adult. Your mind is developed. You know who you are. You know what you want to be. Even if you're mentally ill and you feel like you're a man and you feel like you're a woman, that's a mental illness. At least you're able to. You're an adult, so you're not. There's no power dynamic there. There's no one there telling you, encouraging you, to convincing you, or having an influence on you. There's no one having an influence on you to, like, there's no one having an influence on you to make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, you're your own person. But when you're a child, the influences are not inside of you. It's outside of you. You're learning. You know, the adults are in charge. They're the ones that have the control, you know? So it's just not fair to do that to children, and that's what I really think about that. So if I have anything else to add, me and Raspberry will talk about it, right, Raspberry? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I love you. Yes, I do. I do. I do. Yes, so good. Oh, let me see you. Let me see you, honey. Let me see. Oh, such a nice baby. Yes. Oh, okay.